direction anyway. Ah, your elbows went way out, Nicole. All right. I want to see if you have 6 parvatanasana in you tonight. If you don't, okay. See if you've done 3. 3 is the minimum. Again, they don't have to be super long holds. Grip in from ankle to hip, grip in from wrist to lats, lift off the arms, elbows in as you come down. Ah, better. Ah, that's it, Mark. Yeah, good. Keep the elbows in. Oh, you lost it at the very end. If you can do 6, do 6. Otherwise, do 3 or 4. Now, go ahead. Also now, as you go up, if you're done, you're done, okay. But if you're gonna do another one, as you go up in the pose, also keep the elbows into the maximum, rather than let them flare up. You might have to go, if you want to, those of you who can stop on the crown of the head can be helpful. Ah, that way, Nicole, yes. Elbows in, shins, lift from the base of the buttocks. And then elbows in on the way down. Elbows in on the way down. The arm rotates in the socket. That way. All right. Is that 5 or 6, or are you done? That's 6? Okay. Okay. Don't be too impressed. Roll to the side and come out of the pose. Yeah, big deal. 6 back bends. Maybe it is a big deal for you. I don't know. But work on the elbow stuff when you both going up and coming down. Why not? Okay, if this was 1985, we'd do 6 more, right, Nicole? Right, Mona? No, not even in 1985 we did 6 more. Why? Don't really know. Maybe that's why I'm wearing this thing now. I'm not really sure. You know, your 4 pulses is not always better. Jude Lasseter said once, you know, every now and then, well, to preface this, in an Iyengar practice, we often repeat the pose over and over with a number of, focuses and variations and integrations and all that, which is all very, very, very nice. But occasionally, you just, in your home practice especially, you just hit the pose. There's a real incredible, not just structural, but breath, mind, heart, there's an integration that happens. It's almost like the pose is doing you. Judith Lasper suggested, don't do another one. Move on after that one. Oh, because you might think, oh, it's so great, I'm going to do another one. It'll be just as good. It never is. So that's fun to play with. May you have that experience of the pose doing you. All right. Moving on. Okay, my God. Okay. Big shoulder stand. So that's the back bends for tonight. Kind of. We'll see. I can't make promises. Oh, by the way, one way to use a prop to work on the elbow thing, going up and down, is to obviously put a belt around your elbows. That's a good way to do it when you don't have, because often we'd work in partner with somebody holding elbows in. And those of you who are strong in the pose, you can also come up, stop on the crown of the head, reset, and then go up from the crown of the head position. Okay. Now you have your homework. So if you get snowed in, you'll have something to do. All right, sarvangasana. Press the palms firmly, rotate a little more toward the little finger side of the hand. Ascend the inner arm, side armpit tips internally, up through the hips. Energetically ascending out of the throat and the neck. And with the pressure of the palms, move the sacrum and tailbone in up as deep as you can to take the legs, heels back energetically toward the elbows. Use the hands, it's okay. That way. Sustain that as much as you can. Then keep that sense of the sacrum and coccyx up and in deep, and take Ekapada sarvangasana. Right leg halfway down. Take the left leg deliberately back and perpendicular. Extend it back almost towards a semi-split. Now extend both legs from the groin to the heel, hugging the hips together toward the sockets. Then making that upper leg almost drag the lower leg up by extending it more and more. Bring the lower leg up. That way. Reset, regroup. Now extend the left leg down. Now you can go to the floor, Ekapada. Extend that upper leg almost towards the splits. Really extend it. Don't bend the knees. outer hips compact. Then the upper leg, extending groin to heel, helps you bring the leg up. It almost drags it up with its own energy that way. Reset. Right there. Okay, Betsy, if you can drop over into setubandha, go ahead. I don't know about the rest of you if you have that capacity to drop over into setubandha. If not, that's okay. Go to asana. Okay, Betsy, walk in as far as you can, way in, then swing the legs up. Can you do both at the same time? Okay. Okay. Take a few breaths there, Betsy, and then go to halasana. That's it, Nicole. So to work on, I noticed you kicked up one leg at a time. That's fine. But also work on kicking up with the odd leg. And then walking in, walking in, walking in, you can practice kicking up with both legs. To kick up with both legs, the key is to use your hip flexors.
Yeah.
To pull the pelvis over rather than just trying to pull the feet up and over. Use the hip flexors to kick up out of setubandha. All right, everybody come down out of halasana now. Okay. All right. Rolls aside, come up. May I have your attention, please? To set up our setubandha tonight. Okay. So I have 2 blocks. With the belt. Just above the back of the knees. So the usual 1 block under the pelvis. Now, of course, if you're not a block person, you can modify this. But then, with the belt behind the knees, the second block is placed in between the upper thighs. And then I realized my belt needs to be tighter. So I cinch that up. Okay. So I'm on the block with the belt. And I'm gripping the block from the top of the thigh. And doming my chest in setubandha. So it's a much more dynamic setubandha tonight. And straighten the legs to your capacity.
Is that straight legs? Okay, I heard ya. Straight legs.
If you can, that's it. Yeah,
okay.
Straight legs.
Got it.
Work your way into it, yeah. Squeeze the block. Make the belt fairly tight. Although getting the block in is between the legs is the fun part.
How's that block?
Block can go the wide, it doesn't have to go the totally narrow way. Dome the chest. So James, try grabbing the sides of your mat and externally rotating your arms and then really pulling to dome your chest. Yeah, like that. So Betsy, when you go to extended legs, if possible, go to the soles on the floor position rather than dorsiflex. Yeah, good. Dome the chest. Now release the throat, float the chin without losing any of the dome. So the chest has this thing for the head. When you get on top of your traps, sometimes by tucking the shoulders under, the chest sinks toward the spine. So literally move the chest toward the head, adjusting the neck and throat. Breathing regularly, freely. So even when you're working more dynamically like this, always check with your breathing and your brain. So you don't want to tip over into being a even when you're working strongly. Breath is the guide for that. Now everybody walk the feet in. Walk the feet in. Coccyx in strong. Now lift the feet off the floor a little bit. Just suspend them in midair. Not too high, just a little bit. Wait there, tuck strong. Outer pelvic rim has a sense of ascending as you very slowly lower the big toe mounds to the floor. Don't reach for the floor with the big toes, James. Keep the feet dorsiflexed. Ah. Then again, lift the thighs, lift the feet a little bit off the floor, just barely this time. Even less than that, Nicole. Just barely off the floor and hold that. Now redome the chest. Back thigh hits the block, hits the belt. Front thigh squeezes the block. Then doming the chest. Very slowly lower the big toe, inner heels down. That way. Okay, and come to the pose. Take off the belt, go off the block. All right, can't even remember the name of the pose. Oh, jatarra parvatanasana. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I think last week or the week before we worked on this in a supported variation, right? Where your knees are bent to the side on a bolster, right?
Yeah.
But tonight, let's work the full pose. Now, if you have lower back problems, you probably have to do the bent leg variation. So I bring my legs up, I shift my right hip way under me, my right arms are extended out and grounded. Keep my feet in a dhanymurasana grounded action. And rolling over into the pose and holding my legs slightly off the floor. Now press down through my arms and dome the chest and roll to the left with my upper chest.
So you can literally hold the leg slightly off the floor. If you need to do bent leg, that's fine. So if the legs are vertical, shift the right hip way up and over, and then take the right legs over to the side. Strong legs. The legs have to hold the legs up. Then pressing the arm, roll the chest from right to left. Take a couple more breaths. Then, to raise your legs back, ground the femur to lift the legs up. Comes from the root of the thigh grounding, not just pulling the feet up. Okay, now recenter the hips. Shift to the center. Now shift your left hip way under you. Eventually you'll learn to do that with the legs in the up position. Then grounding the arms, extend the legs, ground the inner thighs to the socket, so they're doing dhanymurasana, and go to the side. Now abs are going to work a little bit, but work the inner thighs more. Roll the torso toward the right. If you can hold the legs up for 10 seconds, that's great. Now ground the femur into the socket. Use your arms to bring the legs back up. Bend the knees and come down and relax. Jatarra means the belly. Parvatanasana means to roll the abdomen in the opposite direction of turning the pelvis. Now, extend your legs and take the right leg up into setubandha. Just the right leg. No, we're done with Jatarra Parvatanasana. Setubandha. Left leg extended. Right leg up. It's the regular way. Use the strap for your hand. Sorry, do a full pose. And relax the throat. Roll the left outer pelvic rim in. Inhale, exhale, pull the right leg close as far forward toward your face as possible and flex your trunk and bring your forehead toward your chin. The head up variation of setubandha. And then lower the back, lower the head. Repeat that a couple more times on that same side. Keep the left leg extended, rounded. Three times on the right and then rest. They're very short holds. They can be touch and go movements. If you're a little more experienced in the pose, you can hold them for longer. Okay, now, right leg extended on the floor, left leg up. Just second side, basic setubandha. Wait there. And exhale, leg comes towards you, head comes up. Look up slightly, lift the sternum. Roll back, take a couple breaths, and repeat a couple more times. Just touch and go movements. Hold it a little longer if you can. Okay. After that third rep, lower the legs. Wait there. All right. Now bring both legs in, hold the big toes and extend the leg straight. So it's like you're doing concave spine Paschimottanasana Sutta, lying on your back. Now pull the head of the humerus downward, so it's energetically it's dropping down below the armpits, and widen the collarbones. Extend the groins by grounding the inner thigh and rolling them in. And that little tiny back bend just below the neck. And then take the legs wide into a Supta Upavishta position. That way. As if you were doing concave spine. Roll the femurs in, extend the groins. Okay, release that pose. Come out of the pose. Now we're going to go into half yoga nidrasana. So what I do here is I bring my knees, bring my hands, my upper arm inside my knees, and hold the soles of my foot. Now I'm going to need a head support. And I internally rotate, squeezing the knees into my arms. Right? Sometimes this is called dead bug pose. Remember dead bug pose? That's it. Yeah, dead bug pose. Dorsiflex the feet. Reach around the outer ankle to hold the feet if you can. Have head support. Now, do not try to pull your knees to the floor. Hug in from the knee to the hip socket. And have sense though that the head, the femur is descending. For the knee to descend, the head of the femur must descend. Squeeze in a little bit with the outer thighs toward the arms. Always adjust the neck and throat and breath. So you're not trying to pull down from your knee joints. Ground the femur and descend the head of the femur. Well, yeah, okay. I'll go back to the Upavishta Konasana, Supta Upavishta position. Hold the feet, legs wide. Okay. And then relax, the knees roll to the side and sit up. Not that I think any of you are worrying about this, but in the dead bug pose, if your knees do not touch the floor, you should not put your legs behind your head. You don't have enough mobility in your hip joint. So you can scratch that off your to-do list. Even you young yogis, I recommend forgetting about those postures. Almost nobody could or should be doing them. I should not have been doing them when I was a young, crazy yogi. I did not have the hip mobility to do it. But maybe that's why I got a hip replacement. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder, what's all